Everybody, happy Saturday. Daymond here with Daymond and Company. Again, I just want to share, Saturday is always a good day to relax and reflect on the week that has recently passed. I'm sure if you're like me, you probably learned some new thing that you want to take into the future, and use it in your tool belt for success moving forward. For me, at the end of this past week, I had a very interesting conversation with a dear friend of mine, and the topic of relationships came up, and I was reminded of how much we invest in every relationship that we form with someone. No matter what type of relationship that it is. It could be a romantic relationship, it could be a marriage, it could be a business dealing, it could be a client, service provider type of relationship. But whatever kind of relationship it is, I was reminded that we invest so much of ourselves in those relationships, and what comes out of those relationships a lot of the times are disappointments. Um, so needless to say, we talked about our disappointments in relationships. But what I was able to share with my friend, and that's what I want to share here in this video about relationships. What I'm able to share is this lesson where I learned that you cannot control another human being. I know some of you are looking at this video and you're in that exact situation. You're beefing with somebody because they did not perform or show up or arrive in a relationship that you have forged with them the way that you thought they should have. All right? So now you're pissed off. You want to cuss them out. You don't want to talk to them when they call. You decide not to answer the phone, or and then you're just really, really upset about the dealing that you have had with that person. What you must do moving forward is stop bringing 50% of the relationship. That's what we typically do with relationships, right? So we figure that, hey, I'm one half of the relationship, the other person is the other half of the relationship. So now there is this unwritten set of expectations that have come up. And then when the expectations are not met by either party, we enter into a situation of the beef. We start beefing. Here's the deal, and here's what I shared with my friend, and here's what I'm going to share with you, because it's 2018, right? I just said that in my last video. It's time to do things better. Stop showing up with 50%, because you know what, that other 50% that you expect the other person to have, you can't control that. That's another human being. You cannot control other human beings. What has really saved me a lot of disappointment and effort and sadness is the fact that I was able to learn how to show up and arrive in my relationships with 100%, right? And when I show up with 100%, I'm not saying I'm giving 100% of myself to that relationship. I am saying that I was able to show up with 100% of myself in a relationship. What that has allowed me to do is evaluate what the other party to the relationship is bringing. So that's a very different way of handling a relationship. I don't have an expectation for someone anymore to add the other 50% to the relationship that I used to ask for. Well, I didn't ask for it. I mean, I didn't ask for it. I mean, that was just the expectation that, hey, I'm bringing 50% to this relationship, and the other person's supposed to bring this 50%. So we gonna make 100%. No, I had to stop thinking like that, because what I learned, and this is even as I've gone off and done, self-improvement type things and meditation or whatever, I just learned that, we're all human beings. We all are born into this world with, a spirit and and abilities that a lot of us just cannot even comprehend. Not we all are just getting through life at different stages and doing different things, and we all are learning at different levels. But one thing that I know for sure is that you cannot control another human being. The only human being that you control is yourself. And so you show up 100%, and then you allow the other person to show up, and then you go from there. That's how you avoid a lot of disappointment in your relationships moving forward. You show up 100%. Allow the other person to show up. You notice I'm not saying allow them to show up 100%, because you can't levy that type of a requirement on a person. Just allow them to show up. Now, what you do from that point moving forward is then decide if the relationship or the business dealing or whatever is worth your time moving forward. The only person that you now will give yourself room to be disappointed in is nobody but, guess what? You. The one person in this whole entire world that you can control. So that's how, that has really helped me. I hope that, it helps you moving forward. If you're beefing with somebody right now, if you're beefing with family, if you're having, issues in your romantic relationship or whatever, just stop levying those unwritten expectations on that other person. Now I'm not saying go and give all kind of time and effort to the relationship. If it's not worth it, then it's just not worth it. If you don't resonate or if you all are not vibing on the same frequency, then it may be time to just, put that relationship down. But what you can do is, if you're beefing with that person, decide to show up 100%. And 100% you, 100% authentic, 100% true. And then make the decision that you're going to move forward. And I guarantee you will, once you start seeing your relationships in that way, you will not be as stressed. You will realize more of your self-worth, and you will navigate much better in your subsequent relationships to come. So I hope that helped. Like I said, I had a very profound conversation with my friend yesterday, and I know this is something that everybody can benefit from moving forward. It's just, we don't have time. Life is so short. We don't have time to beef. We don't have time to add unnecessary strife to our lives. Nothing has made me realize that more than the recent passing of my mom last year. So, just show up. Don't be jaded. Just show up 100%. Allow yourself to be you, and then make your decisions with your relationships moving forward, thinking of life that way. All right. Happy Saturday.